Namaste. Today we have Dr. Vaishali Lokhande, consultant internal medicine, Apollo Hospital, Navi Mumbai.
Namaste.
Doctor, we received some questions from our society, Green Earth, Panvel. So, Doctor, today's first question is: in growing cases, if COVID-19 where beds are not available, all the COVID positive case may not need hospitalization. If patient having mild symptoms, should we home quarantine ourselves?
Yes, so in fact, now the protocol is very much in place that people who are mildly symptomatic, people who are otherwise healthy, and young population who doesn't have any comorbidities, if the parameters are okay, their X-ray is clear, their blood work is okay, and their fever is very mild, the doctor can take a call about keeping these patients at home. But of course, this cannot be decided by the patient himself or herself. He or she has to consult a doctor either through physical consultation or through online consultation. They discuss the parameters, they discuss the symptoms. If everything is in the safe zone, yes, the patient can be managed at home with some medication under guidance and some monitoring is required.
If it is mild symptoms of COVID-19, what medicine should we take during home quarantine?
Okay, so mild symptoms, even though they are there, the doctor will decide about what medications to be taken. But as a general rule, most patients do receive a course of azithromycin as a part of the treatment protocol. Patients receive multivitamin supplements with zinc. They receive vitamin C, paracetamol for symptomatic relief, some cough reducing medication for symptomatic relief. And if the patient has evidence of COVID confirmation, the doctor may decide whether he or she requires favipiravir, Fabiflu, or the other medications that are used on an OPD basis.
Is diarrhea also a feature of COVID-19? How do we distinguish ordinary diarrhea and diarrhea of COVID-19?
Okay, so diarrhea has been noticed in some cases of COVID, and those symptoms are not very different from any other diarrhea. The patient may just have loose watery stools. There may or may not be cramping. Usually blood and mucus is not seen, but having said that, it could mimic any other any other diarrheal diseases. But when the patient is confirmed COVID positive and he or she has fever and diarrhea, then most likely I'll attribute to the viral infection itself.
And what are the complaints for which emergency medical attention is required?
Okay, so if a patient is confirmed case of COVID and has been advised to stay in home quarantine for whatever indications, they are asked to monitor few things. First and foremost, the fever should start getting better at home, or it should be on the milder side. The patient should be able to move around the house without any discomfort. If the patient is experiencing very high grade fever, if the cough is getting extremely worse, if the patient is feeling severely fatigued and is breathless and walking even few steps, let's say from one room to the other, or if the patient is feeling so tired that he or she cannot get up from the bed, these are all signs that the patient is probably going in for a complication or a severe presentation of COVID. So he should be seeing the doctor, rather the COVID hospital which is nearby his location, his or her location.
A difference between COVID infection in adult and adult population. Can you explain the symptoms of COVID-19 which normally children have?
Okay, so I think what we are trying to see is what is the difference between adults and pediatric population in terms of how they present in COVID. I am an adult medicine specialist. I do not deal with pediatric population, but what I have heard from the various literature available online in the medical journals or publications or with my pediatric colleagues that I am discussing, children tend to have practically very mild symptoms or no symptoms at all, but they may be shedding the virus. Some children can have complication called as a multi-system inflammatory syndrome, where they can have very serious presentation with breathlessness and heart involvement and various organ involvements. But again, it is not a common thing, and this is best to be commented upon by the pediatricians. Whereas in adults, the symptoms are always there in most of the cases. They may be mild, but they are there. And usually adults tend to come with serious complications on day 7 to 10 of the presentation, not as the primary presentation in most cases. Usually if the patient has missed the symptoms, then he or she may report to the hospital with serious ones, but mild symptoms are usually there.
If COVID patient is found in a residency, what precautions one should take apart from wearing mask?
Okay, so if it's in a society where there is a COVID case is found on a particular flat or a particular floor, I think the municipal authorities take the decision about whether the house or the flat should be sealed or the floor should be sealed, etc. But I think people who have come in contact with the individual who's been confirmed COVID positive or infected should self-isolate themselves at home or quarantine themselves at home and watch their symptoms for the next 7 days, because doesn't mean that if they're exposed they will have symptoms the same time. So they should observe, watch for fever, cough or any new symptoms for the next 7 days. Number one. Number two, you should not forget your basic rules of hand hygiene and masking at all times. Family members of that who have been exposed have to be careful about even interaction with each other regarding using of these basic sanitization precautions. And I think we should understand that a family who's been isolated, they will need some help. So we still try to supply food items through a more careful way to the family, because I'm sure they must be having their own issues to sort out. So I think that has to be also taken into account.
And last question, ma'am. What are the effects one can return back home after treatment of COVID from hospital or quarantine center?
Okay, so usually people who are hospitalized and if they have had a long stay, they probably are the ones who have ended up either in the ICU or they have required oxygen. Some may ended up on a ventilator or a non-invasive ventilation strategy. So these are the patients who probably had a difficult course of the wards itself. And of course, they can have sequelae of COVID, what we call, or the consequences of a COVID infection, wherein the lungs can go into some sort of fibrosis or scarring, as I can put it in simple terms. So these symptoms may show up later. Of course, you will realize when the patient starts feeling breathless despite having reached home and the oxygen saturation is not improving to normal range. People who are sent home on oxygen therapy at home specifically need to watch out for this symptom, and they should be in touch with their doctor or their service provider about their concerns and their oxygen levels. Some people can have a second bout of fever, and some people who have had a mild episode and are discharged in the first week or 10 days of illness, sometimes they tend to get a relapse. I cannot use the word relapse, but they tend to get fever again and then severe breathlessness. So the cytokine storm, what we call, or the complicated phase of COVID can present later. That's why the logic of keeping patients at home for the next 7 days and watching for their symptoms and pulse oximeter monitoring is essential even after discharge.
Thank you, doctor, for sharing your important information, which is very helpful for all the members.
Thank you.